No, but
Yeah,
no.
that just needs to be our opening theme. Okay, okay, don't Taco Bell. Okay, no, let's not get down in that hole. We were chastised last time for the. Oh boy, oh boy. It's the Well of the Dragon. It's the podcast for life. It's the gaming news podcast for your idols. Da, 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 da. Something about GTA coming out. Welcome back, everybody. I know y'all needed an intro song. There you go. Have at it. It's the Dragon's Will. You know what it is. If you've been here, if you're listening to this one, you're probably been here before. Hopefully, you've been here before. If you're a new listener, welcome. We are glad to have you. We are the Dragon's Well. My name is Sprites, and I'm joined with me my good pal, my good friend Mav3rick. Mav3rick, how's it going?
Oh man, it's good. It's good. I like that intro. You know, the funny thing is if you go back and listen to our episodes, you can tell that we're recording at night now.
Yeah. What you mean? So here's the thing about recording at night. A couple things.
What does SpongeBob say? At night.
You know, first off, at night. A couple things. Obviously, our energy is not as like boom in your face as it was, and that's just first off because it's at night.
But
right?
we will boom roast you like all day long.
We will listen. There will be some popping moments here in the podcast for sure. But it's not as like loud. I think first off, it's not as it's not as high energy, right? And that's because it is at night. It's at the end of the day, and honestly, we're tired, right? Not only that, it's because we have kids.
Oh, absolutely.
Where you're recording, it's a little bit different, right? You could possibly be a little louder. Mine, where I'm recording, I share a wall with one of my children, right? And so I'm like, I get a little loud, I get the sounding like I did in the first 10, 15 episodes, even more than that, really. But the first 10, 15 episodes, I'm out here sounding like a hyena half the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here. I'm surprised you haven't heard Mufasa for the past 15 episodes. Because it's something else. So it's not as it's a changing for, I think, the better for sure. I think we're getting more used to it. It's not, but. We are the Dragon's Well. We're happy to have you guys.
Yeah. Don't forget, guys, follow us on Twitter, Dragons W Gaming. We are also on Facebook and Instagram at Dragons Well Gaming there. I've been kind of quiet on Twitter. They or I guess it's X. Man, I keep calling it Twitter. I gotta change that. I guess
the Twitter.
Yeah, there hadn't been a whole lot of stuff going on, man. It's been kind of quiet up until this week, and then we had some pretty cool stuff drop this week. that I'm excited about, and I hope everybody else is. And I don't know about you, but how is your Starlink working,
dude? I'll be honest with you. Actually, you know what? Let me check it right now. I have not had a single issue out of it.
Mine is running like a little trashy, kind of.
Really? What are you popping right now? What are you popping? In the great words of, I'm pretty sure, Gandhi, what you popping?
What you popping? Like 8.5 megs. That's it.
What?
Yeah.
I just looked at. I'm rocking. Now my latency's kind of bad though. I got like 103.
Dang. Must be
on
just
my latency.
Where we're at.
Yeah.
I mean, we're down.
But
for those that don't know,
we're not that bad. But
we live like right down the road from each other. But his is.
Yeah.
I think you're a little higher elevation than where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I get the dirt going. Pick up the dirt. Gotta get move it. Gotta get it shaking.
Well,
Got that hill going.
I probably just need to reboot my
Affects.
router.
Well, mine. But it says my speed is about 66 megs.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Which, listen, if you are coming from the internet stricken or the poverty stricken internet situation that I have lived all of my life, the highest meg output that I've ever had at my house at one point was like 15 megs.
Oh, so you're doing better than me because the top speed we ever had, and this was living in town with DSL. This was like I think we finally got bumped up to 6 meg, and then a cable company came in. They were dropping cable everywhere, and they were offering speeds up to like 150 meg. Of course, we had just started. Well, we were finishing building our house, and we moved, so we missed out on that, and then we had nothing. So we went from 6 meg to nothing.
Dude, correct me if I'm wrong. DSL took like a long time to like boot up, right? Like
No,
you were to,
no,
like
no. DSL was always connected. I mean, unless it,
it's
like
all
the
okay.
no. You're thinking about dial up.
Yeah, that's right. I'm good about dial-up.
Yeah,
That's the one that makes the
the like
life
fax
scarring
machine.
noise.
Oh yeah, the fax machine noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the noise that takes about as long as one Dragon Ball Z power up.
Yes, absolutely.
It takes three business days and you know, and a few of your comp days away from you
Yeah, for sure.
to get done. Yeah, I hear you, bro. But I'm grateful for it.
Oh yeah,
We you know
yeah.
we we have sung the praise of Lord Elon. I say
Mm-hmm.
well, I say Lord. I hope you guys know we're just playing about that.
Oh yeah.
We understand he is not a lord.
I think
I mean,
any.
I don't know. He could be. I think I've heard that you could like become like a lord over there, like overseas for like a certain. I don't think it's that expensive to do.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I know.
Like
I know you
I think
can.
it's a few a few $1,000.
I don't
You
think
become a lord.
he's been knighted yet, so he's not Sir
Yeah,
Elon.
yeah, Sir Elon, but we're grateful for his internet
Oh
nonetheless,
yeah. Even on
and
bad
we
days, it's
are
good.
100%. But yeah, so what you been playing, man? What you been playing?
Well, I've fallen again. Um, so last week we talked about Warcraft Rumble and how much we were enjoying it, and
Oh yeah,
I have been playing it some this week, but I kind of fell off. I fell off that horse and got on another one that I'm ashamed to mention that I've spent way too much time in this week.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Wait, is this one that I knew before podcast, or is this a new thing you've been kind of keeping under wraps? What's going on?
oh no. So well, there's two things actually. I started over because I got about 2 hours into it, and then something came out, and I put it down, and I started playing Star Ocean First Departure.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. I
saw
think
you
it was
playing
like
a little bit.
original PSP or something like that, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's something just kind of an RPG to pass the time. But I got back into Fortnite. They dropped the OG season, and
Yeah,
they got a ton of OG stuff, and I learned really quick because the OG season was before I started playing because they didn't have zero build then, and I only play zero build. I don't play that building stuff. Is just man, I can't keep up with
yeah,
those kids.
yeah, man.
But I learned something real quick because see the season I've played, the seasons I guess I've played, there was everything from swimming, cars. The only thing you can drive in this is a golf cart. Now this week they added four wheelers and they added hoverboards. So there's a couple new things like that you can try out. And then they added some weapons. They took away a couple weapons and added some weapons. But beyond that, man,
So I mean, is it fit? Like obviously, if you're playing it a good bit, it's feeling pretty good, huh?
oh yeah, it feels like new Fortnite, not old Fortnite, but it has mechanics and stuff from old Fortnite that
Oh, gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
like
Yeah,
so I'm so used to swimming, and I'm like, okay, well I'll just jump off in this lake or whatever. Surely I can jump off from the top here and land in the lake. I'll be fine. Because I figured I'd just start swimming, and I jump off, and I realized that all of the lakes and stuff are only about knee high. So I land and I died. I was a little hacked off because I was.
Oh, there's like fall damage.
Oh man, there's
I didn't know
horrible
there's like
fall
fall.
damage. Oh yeah, it's bad too. Like, because you can get onto an area like Tilted Towers where there's all these tall buildings and stuff, and you jump down the wrong way.
Yeah,
There's a cliff uh, deal that you can do, or if you like run kind of off the cliff and it is at a certain angle, you can slide, and you'll slide down it instead of fall and dying.
yeah.
But it was, I mean, it's been pretty fun. The kiddo and I picked it up and we started playing again, and they got a lot of old emotes, so it's entertaining watching Optimus Prime hit the gritty after destroying people on Fortnite.
Dude, that's such a weird statement. I'm widowy hitting a quitty right now.
Widowy, hitting the gritty.
I'm widowy hitting a quitty.
No, but it
That's
has it's been fun, man. And so we just I mean, beyond that, I actually did play something else tonight, but we're gonna get to that later. So what have you been playing
yeah.
beyond Warcraft Rumble?
Beyond Warcraft Rumble, I have played. Really haven't played too much of anything. It's just been super busy, but I have been playing. Just going through different like mobile games. None of them are really sticking. I'll go through those. I've been playing a lot of Overwatch stuff, or
Okay,
like trying to get back in Overwatch.
all right. So
Right?
let me ask you this. We recorded last week, and then we got to play as your boy Maui. Did you ever get to
Oh yeah,
play? Did you ever get to play?
as as him.
Yeah, yeah. Was it Magua? Maga? Mauga?
I don't know. I forgot
Man,
his
you
name.
can tell
I
we
forgot his
from.
name because I was too busy actually just calling him Maui,
Yeah. I think one of our
which is
esports kids corrected us today, didn't they?
oh yeah, yeah. I mean he. I think I don't. I tend not to listen to them very much, but um,
Well,
yeah. I mean
hopefully they're listening to
something of that.
us.
True that. True that. No, they did. They told us his name. I forgot his name now. I didn't get to play as him. He seems pretty interesting. Um, I don't know. I think he might actually be fairly balanced, and I know that's gonna come as a weird surprise, but he does seem to be a character that I think is going to be a lot more balanced than what people think because I don't think he does. Because I think supports are so strong right now that it's still heavily support driven. It's still a you know the meta is still heavily support driven. So, in saying that, like it's still hard to kill people, and that's what he does best. He does have a lot of damage output. But one thing, and if you're a skilled um, if you're a veteran player or a high level player in Overwatch, you understand that just because you have damage, like a high damage output, does not necessarily mean that you're carrying a game, right?
You
Because
listening,
you can
esports
have
kids?
10, you can have 10,000 damage, and there's a reason why, like the DPS that um the DPS that like normally have difficulty racking up a lot of damage numbers actually just ends up killing and carrying the game more often than not are your characters like Sombra, Tracer. Tracer's like number one pick. in Overwatch League because of how efficient she is at getting picks. And normally it doesn't come at the cost of racking up 2,000 plus damage because you're doing the 200 HP health bars of most squishy DPS heal support characters
Right.
and not
Right.
having to, and not having to, let their health bar regen and then hopefully get a pick later on.
Right.
Like like your bastions, like your soldier, like your those characters. Yeah, you're going to rack up those, but there's a reason why you pick Tracer, Sombra, Widow. Most of those times, those characters are getting your kills early on. So, but the tank, I think he racks up a lot of damage. He deals a lot of damage. I think it's going to be interesting. He might be one of the first actual characters that you look at, and I think there's a lot of theory crafting around the way that you would play him because he has kind of a mixed kit, and that he has this ability to really dive in with his ultimate slash his unstoppable charge. Um, and so you could really play him as a dive character. You could play him, but he does enough damage where you could play him in a brawl comp. But then he also has this weird mechanic that enables him. You can't really play him as much as with a poke comp, but you could, in that he has the ability to buff his allies so that their DPS, their poke, heals them. And so it's such a weird thing with his kit because his kit kind of opens up this avenue to be able to play him as a tank that's I think he's going to be one of the most versatile tanks in that he has this ability to do play all three of the major team comp um, uh, formulas, if you will, or whatever you want to call them. And that there's the brawl, which is kind of like a midway point between a poke and a dive comp. Then you have a dive comp, which is like all in, you full send, you're like scrapping almost in melee range, right? And then you got this poke comp that's like really far back, and
So yes, he sounds like a
it's
jack of all trades. With especially
it
it's
yeah.
like your equivalent to a World of Warcraft pally, because I mean with a paladin, either way you go, if you're going in by yourself, I mean obviously this doesn't work in dungeons and raids and stuff, but I mean for the most part it did work for a little while in. Now they may have changed this now. I hadn't played in a while, but it was almost to where you could run a dungeon as a DPS pally, and you could still heal yourself enough if you got in a bind, but you could also pull enough aggro to keep to keep those enemies coming at you. But you were pumping out more DPS, so you were
You know
getting
what's so
more.
funny about you saying that, dude? Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know much about WoW, and actually, there's two things I want to say because this will get off on a whole nother topic here in a moment. That I just want to kind of continuing on the thought of not necessarily things that I have been playing, but things that have been asked of me to play and or potentially play.
I asked you to play Fortnite
Um,
with me.
You did ask me to play Fortnite with me
Yeah,
with you, and I did not. It was not a solid no. It was I'll download it, and if we have time, I'll be down.
I think you'll like it. I
Because
really
I think
do.
yeah. I mean, like I've really enjoyed My Hero Ultra Rumble, which is a very is similar in a lot of ways to Fortnite. Um, obviously there's a lot more unique stuff there, but uh, dude, just picture picture this new character, right? This new Overwatch character, this big giant buff. I don't know what he is. I think he might be like Samoan.
Yeah. He's got to be
You
Samoan.
know, because he looks a lot like. I mean, when we say Maui, I mean and for those who don't know, Maui's from Moana, right? He's who Dwayne the Rock Johnson plays. He looks a lot like the Disney character Maui, and the fact that they have him in the game and he's dressed very similarly, right? He doesn't have a shirt on. He's very loose clothes, things like that.
Well, I mean, even the
I think it's
hair.
the hair, right? I mean, the body shape is very similar, right? Where he's kind of has like a very short neck and like just these gigantic like shoulders, you know, dude. Like picture him just in pally armor, bro. When you're like, yeah, so he's kind of like a pally, and I just picture Maui's face on like a blood elf paladin's body.
Oh, that's funny.
With like just a.
No,
I don't
he
know
would
what
definitely
would
be a Tauren pally.
He for sure a Tauren. Yeah, he built
yeah.
like a Tauren.
Yeah.
He ain't built different, bro. He built like a Tauren. Dude,
awesome.
can you imagine oh my goodness, dude. If anybody ever I don't know if I would be able to recover from that one, bro. I really don't. Dude, someone just out the gate looks at me. Look. This
so what
recently,
what you need is how we had the Warcraft movie, and I know there's a lot of like back and forth about whether it was good or not. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think they did a fabulous job with the orcs. I don't think they could have done anything different with the orcs. The problem was the humans, which is like kind of like the thing.
Imagine that.
Yeah, right.
Problem for the humans, dude.
But okay, so I didn't like Medivh. I didn't like Khadgar. There were things that I didn't. There were a lot of things I didn't like about it. But for what it was a good movie. Can you imagine? These solid orc voice actors come back for the second one, and then they introduce a Tauren, and it's none other than The Rock.
The Rock, dude. As a Tauren? No, he would. Dude, listen.
The people's eyebrow from a Tauren.
Eyebrow. Dude, that's the bushiest eyebrows in the world, bro. Look like two full squirrels on his face. Good night. That dude, yeah.
The people.
Look like, hey, listen, I'm telling you, every time he raises one, it looks like two squirrels racing. That's what it's gonna be, dude. Some sugar gliders.
Sugar glider.
Dude. But anyways, so the other thing I was gonna say about WoW. And so I was speaking with my father actually yesterday. He gave me a call and was like, "Hey, just checking up on you, And so we got to talking about it a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's a big Diablo fan. Like played all of the Diablos. Gets really big into them. Like really deep into the game. Plays multiple seasons. And really
run through. Like
no. Yeah. I mean, he like beats all of the difficulties on it. Like really grinds it out, right? And normally in times past, like especially Diablo 3, he had like a bunch of buddies that he would run with, and
that would be fun.
And so now,
I have Diablo 3 for Switch, and it runs really well. And I mean, we did that.
Diablo are so fun. I've been Diablo 3 so many times, and it's super fun. But he hit me up and he was like, "Look, man," he said, "I think I'm about to make a decision." He said, "I think I'm about to get into a new game." I was like, "Oh yeah," He's like, "Look," and I think he's like, because I spend a lot of time, like he travels a lot with his job.
Right.
He's in the oil field, so he does a lot of traveling, and sometimes he like before he can do his job, he has to wait for other people to do theirs, right?
Yeah,
and so
right.
like he's stuck there before he for maybe at the site for a while, right? So when that happens, he's like, hey, he pulls out his phone, watches Twitch, watches YouTube, and he says that he watches like a lot of Asmongold and things like that. Which, by the way, Asmongold, not the cleanest of guys, physically as well as like verbally. I don't know if you heard the stories about Asmongold and like his him just not showering properly.
That's
and things
disgusting.
like that. I'm telling you, I don't understand
I
that.
mean, if you're
I
if
don't understand how you're making thousands of dollars, just playing video games. Which, not to belittle, streaming's hard. I've tried it. It's difficult to sit here and talk for hours on end to essentially no one, right? Which, I mean, he's
right,
talking to his chat, right? Which is a little bit, I think, would feel like a different experience where I was talking to like 3 or 4 people. Um, that were actually in my chat
yeah.
whenever I did it. Which I would love to do it again because streaming really is fun, but it's hard. Like the longest streams that I would have was probably like 3 or 4 hours.
I was gonna say I did
So
I
I
did
mean,
one for Legend of Zelda or for Tears of the Kingdom, sometime during the summer, and I mean it was the same kind of thing. I was 3 or 4 people in the chat, and I wasn't doing a
yeah.
whole lot of
I mean,
talking.
it's there was a couple times where like I was playing Hearthstone for a little bit, and yeah, I got to the point, and I hate that it had to come to an end, um, because I was actually starting to build some like 2 or 3 people that were like just coming routinely whenever I'd get on.
Yeah,
But the thing about that was I couldn't commit myself to like a specific schedule at that time. So, it was one of those things where they were just kind of waiting on me to hop on. But a lot of times they would hop on and they would really be interactive. And I really appreciate those people. Shout out to those people if you're listening. But, super
oh, that's
awesome
awesome,
experience.
man.
I would love to. I got close to getting affiliate, but, you know, it's just one of those things where, and I was going at it for about a month, and I just had to stop because, well, bills,
Well, I mean,
you know.
and the thing
So
is like, so for this, I mean, for the podcast and for our esports program, it's to me, it's more than just like a program that we run or a podcast that we host. I mean, my goal, for this, and I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I want my goal for this is to build a community, something that that people have, are comfortable reaching out, and if we can ever like pray for anybody or whatever that, or
yeah,
if
absolutely.
this ever turned into anything that we could actually like financially or physically help people, I mean this would be, I mean that would be
Oh, that would
great.
be fantastic.
That would be great.
Well, I like there's a lot of one thing that I really try to do, and we'll get back on the story at hand here in a moment, but speaking on this very quickly. One thing that I really enjoy doing is, first off, finding those content creators that are very clean. And so one of those that I really enjoy watching is Leonhardt, which is the guy who opens up Pokemon cards, right? That's like super big. He was like all over the news because he was a lawyer and going to or going to law school, and like dropped out to open up Pokemon cards, you know, and
Wow.
like pursue his career on and now he's like millions. He's definitely a millionaire. To the point where like I don't know how if you know how much like vintage Pokemon card packs cost, but like vintage like just a singular booster pack or blister pack, whatever they want to call them. I mean, costs like upwards of like several $100s,
Oh
right?
wow.
And
Yeah.
he opened up like it was a one time deal. He opened up a vintage card shop where you could come in and you could buy one of those packs for like $6,
Oh wow.
like just to get the nostalgic feeling of people. But every year he raises money for like mental health awareness and things like that. And like, dude, I'm telling you, like one year, I mean, just about every year he raises like $100,000 plus.
Well,
Like it's insane the amount. Like the other day, I read an article about Mr. Beast, planting Mr. Beast digging up 100 new water wells over there in Africa,
mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
giving thousands upon thousands of people fresh water. Um, which, by the way, is a super big deal. Not just obviously we're talking about cleanliness and health reasons, but also like financial reasons. There, a lot of the existing wells were actually being monopolized by people that were higher up there in Africa, and they're able to manipulate those those people in poverty to be like, hey, if you want this water, which you do, or you die, you have to pay this tax on it, right?
Right.
To be able to use this water wells. Like, and there's several stories of people that do that where he's like, hey, I made this well where you just have to come and use it. And it's his. I mean, they're his. So like they can't, they can't put a claim to it. And he's like, hey, you don't have to worry about it. You know, like, so nobody can monopolize those because they're his.
That would be cool.
So
That would be
I mean
a good PR thing
that's
too.
so
The Dragon's Well building wells.
yeah, Dragon Wells. Dude, that would be pretty cool. But you know what I mean, like things like that, and
Yeah, I mean
that
that's
would be
awesome.
awesome.
I mean that's
That's
that's God's work right
and
there. I mean,
and it's really sad that, and it's not sad, but it is to a degree. It's sad that it requires, and not to make light of YouTubers, but it requires a YouTuber to have to do that when we have so many people that are these millionaires and billionaires that are like, and I understand they worked hard to get to where they're at, but it's like you have all this money. You could, if you're a billionaire, drop $1 million to go help thousands upon thousands of people
oh
somewhere.
yeah. I mean
That's
it doesn't take
nothing to you.
it takes nothing to go over and do stuff for people like that. I mean,
Like, and not to make light of it, but like we're not just talking about dropping, like, you know, we're not just talking about buying a bunch of food for everybody. I mean that helps for sure, but that's going to be a momentary fix, like a very that's a band-aid to a bullet wound, essentially,
yeah.
because they're going to get hungry again. So how do we solve this? I mean, you could build soup kitchens, you can build, I mean, like there, we can, or at least theory craft on some ways to go around like really solving these serious issues. But of course, and I say this good and well knowing that there's still tons more that I could do, even with the limited amount of funds that I have that I don't do. And
Right,
so
right.
I understand that there's, a bit of hypocrisy in this speech, but on the flip side, I would hope that if I had that money, I would be able to put it to use the way that I'm, telling right now,
Well, and I think
right?
we talked
Because
about this.
there are limits to that.
I think we talked about this
So,
before, and I'm not, by no means are we, like getting endorsed by any of this stuff, but there used to be
yep.
one, and I don't know what it's, they change, sometimes you go to concerts and they talk about some of this stuff. So one of them was World Vision, and we did World Vision. My wife and I did World Vision for a long time. You kind of got to pick your kid, and you paid
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
much a month. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. And so, but you
Yeah,
got to
just
write to
to pretty
them,
much
and yeah,
sponsor that kid. Yeah,
yeah,
for
and
like
it
education's sake and
right
all sorts of stuff.
it
Yeah.
paid for their education. It paid for and then we could send them gifts. We could write letters, and so what would happen was they would get the letters, and they would see it in our handwriting, but then somebody would translate it into their language. So we had one kid, he was from Sri Lanka, and then we had two from, oh man, it escapes me. I think it was somewhere in the like Ukraine or something, and it was just, I don't know, man. It was a great
No, that's so
opportunity.
cool, man.
It was so cool,
Yeah.
and of course, then we had kids and things like
Yeah.
kids starting school, and had
I
all
mean,
these
you
extra
do
expenses,
what
and
you could. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. You do what you could. A couple of years back, well, we would, and I know this is just a minor thing, but I mean, we would get together like, I don't know, anywhere from like 20 to 30 shoe boxes full of like, pretty much Christmas goodies around Christmas time. We'd ship
mm-hmm.
them overseas to, kids in Africa and all sorts of stuff. And so my wife and I would do things like that, where there was a local church that we were going through that would collect from all the other churches around there,
Well, and
and
I
we
and,
would
and I
do
think
things like that. And
with Thanksgiving.
I think it's a good work.
Yeah, and with Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up, I do. I think, and it doesn't
Spirit of
have to
giving.
be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be overseas. It can be. A lot of times you hear about all the stuff that's getting done overseas, but there's also people in the community. There's people. I mean, there's people in our community,
Absolutely.
and
That need help. Yeah.
yeah, anything.
We it's funny that we mentioned this. We were literally just talking about this last service.
Oh, are you?
Like we're talking about wanting to do things, like wanting to do more, not just for the people overseas, but the people in our community. Because I actually said that exact same thing where I know sometimes we get caught up in the people overseas because
Right.
it's a serious thing. Those are lives just the same. But on the flip side, there are also, let's not make light of the people that are being affected in the here and now
Right. Right.
in our communities too.
Absolutely.
So, but anyways, kind of in a roundabout way, hey, where we put that bucket deep in the well right there. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Hey,
look.
that bucket. Hey, that bucket came out drenched, dude.
Hey, look. If
You
any of
you
that
ain't
gets
thirsty.
any, if anybody gets decides they want to do something or whatever from just listening to that little 15-20 minute speech, then hey, we
Yeah,
we
it's
did
worth it.
something.
Hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's right. The well runneth deep. That's what I'm saying.
That's right. That's right.
You know.
Now, completely off that
But
subject, and I mean we going down a dark hole here. Uh, we found a different well to dive into with this one. Uh,
yeah, we're gonna get some Kool Aid out of this one.
oh, I don't know. I
Get
don't
that. Get
know.
that. Hey, get that. What are you? Wait, are you talking about what? Like, are you starting on our list here?
Oh, we starting on the list, and it was so we gonna
Oh yeah, we are getting some Kool Aid
we
out of this
we
one.
gonna go ahead and throw the
Oh my
sinful
goodness.
out and go ahead and get
Yeah,
that done first. So I will say, and I'll
I mean
let
it's
and I
gaming news, man.
well and that's the thing. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this is gaming news. We're gonna cover some of the news. I don't see either one of us playing it. Maybe one of our Discord buddies or something that might want to play
Yeah.
this can and hop on and let us know how it is. I know. Reference.
Listen, no,
He probably would play
listen,
something
no,
like this.
listen. Yeah, no judgment. You're just a
Yeah, yeah,
sinner.
yeah, yeah.
No judging.
but
Nah.
but no.
I
But on that note,
listen.
look, the highly anticipated GTA 6 trailer is set to drop on December
Yep,
7th. Now, of course,
dude.
fans
There's
are
no telling the
hyped.
amount of people
Oh yeah, man. I mean,
that
our
are ready for this.
our esports kids, and for shame for you playing this garbage. But because I'm gonna call you out on that. I don't condone that at all.
Listen, I want to play this. I don't want to say devil's advocate because that sounds bad, but there is one particular thing. Like, so I don't watch GTA stuff. I haven't played GTA 5 at all, like
Yeah, right,
ever.
right, right. Me neither.
But I do know that there are like specific servers that people hop into, like worlds, I guess. I don't know how it works, but that people hop into that is specifically built around following the law of the in the game. So it's like people will act like they're police officers pulling over other people, and they're like supposed to drive the speed limit, and people are going to and like working like it's legit turns into like real life sim,
I mean,
like
I could
or
get
like
like vehicle.
realistic you know like yeah, where like they go out and they do. It's not like they're going and stealing cars, right? They're like working jobs to get to actually build up money so that they can pay for cars themselves, and they drive like the speed limit, and like you got people that are like the people that are role playing as cops, and they roll up and they're like, hey, you've been speeding, and then of course you're going to have those guys that are going to be like resisting arrest and shooting at them and stuff like that. But
So it's kind
for
of
the
like our
most part they
Minecraft
try to
server.
it's yeah. It actually is a lot like it's Grand Theft Auto Minecraft server. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
which I found hilarious whenever I was watching like little snippets of it. Because it pop up on like news feeds and stuff. And so when I would see that, I'm like, what is going on? Because I see people that are like driving the speed limit and getting pulled over for like, you know, speeding a little bit. And I just found it hilarious that there was like 15 people and they're all like sold out to the role playing experience of GTA. And so,
Maybe we
you
should
know, I
create.
found that just
Maybe we should
hilarious.
buy it, create a realm, and just spread the message.
Yeah.
No,
Well, but
I
you
ain't
know, you
dropping
still
60 $70 on that game. Are you kidding me?
you still got like the bystanders that like if you walk by somebody and you hit them, they'll like cuss you out and stuff. Like you still got to deal with the
Yeah.
language, and
Right.
so you know, there's still a lot that I would be like, yeah, okay, you know,
Well, I
not
mean,
that I've never listened to bad language before, but it's not something that I'm necessarily
and
looking for in a game.
well, and I meant to
So,
look this
but
up. I don't know how old GTA 5 is. I know that.
oh, it's pretty old.
Yeah, I mean
Like it's been out for a while.
it's been out. I mean, we're talking about like almost probably. Well, I don't imagine it's Mario Kart 8 old, but I mean it's up there.
Yeah, I think I want to say it's probably been out for like close to a decade, man.
Man, wow, that's
Yeah. Here, let me
well,
look
you
this
know,
up right quick
for
while you're
those that are gonna
getting into
play
our
that,
next segment.
yeah, I mean that's great. You know, if that's your cup of tea, whatever, or cup of coffee, or whatever you want to say, um, you know, like I said, we'll cover the news. The trailer's dropping on December 7th, and
And in fact, it is in a decade old. September 17th, 2013.
wow.
Dude,
Well, y'all
holy.
been waiting a long time for a new
Yeah.
game.
Listen, you know what this is right now? This is literally the next. I mean, this is literally what they've been doing with the Elder Scrolls series,
Oh
man.
yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, this is
Yeah.
just the. I mean, this is literally like, you know, because well, Elder Scrolls even worse though. I think because I think Skyrim what came out in. I think it came out in. I was gonna say 10. No, it came out on November 11th, 2011.
Oh wow. So yeah, we're over 10 years.
So, you know, we're at 12,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
12 years.
there's still no news of it
Ugh.
dropping yet. I mean, I know they're making a new one. They've announced the new one, but we don't have a release date on it yet. So, but you know,
Yeah.
like I said, more power to you. But what I saw something
Yeah.
today that and this is our second talking point. We look, you know how I am. I love my level 5 games. You know, anything from Nino Kuni to I can't think of the other game, but they have a they have a thing coming out this month. I think it's the 29th. So there's this big event in Japan. I think they're live streaming it. So level 5 Vision 2023 is happening on November 29th. They've got 4 or 5 games that look pretty interesting. But one of them is Professor Layton, then the New World of Steam. I think it's like a steampunk look to Professor Layton. And I think Professor
Yeah.
Layton is kind of like I think it's similar to like a Detective Pikachu type game, I think. Really never played any of those, but my game, I think they're finally gonna announce a release date for my game, Deca Police.
What? Go.
Finally,
Really?
I hope so. I mean, you know, they're probably gonna push it to 2024, unless it's gonna be like a shadow drop, and drop like, you know, middle of December, which could be a good game for the Switch for December. You know, I mean, not that we don't have enough out to play right now. Which next Friday, so probably we've been doing pretty good about recording on Fridays. So next Friday, we will probably be recording the night that Mario RPG comes out. So I'm excited for that one.
Have a stream party.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
No, but no, I'm excited for Deca Police, man. I'm, you know, everybody's heard me talk about it, and I mean, I'm finally maybe getting a release date, so I'm excited. The other had, let's see, a little bit of news that I had was, we said on the podcast, it's been a while back, that Hogwarts Legacy was not coming to Switch, and we were wrong. It is coming to Switch November 14th. And I immediately thought, oh, this is going to be bad, man. This is going to be bad. But Digital Foundry released some footage, or I don't know if they released footage or if they played it and they talked about it in one of their videos. But man, it looks. I'm hearing that it looks, like it's a solid port. I mean, maybe they let it sit in the oven a little bit longer, and they've got a good port out of it. After playing it on PS5, I don't see how it's going to run well on Switch. I had to switch mine over to performance mode on PS5 for it to run better.
Yeah, properly.
Yeah, I mean it looked good in fidelity mode, but performance mode was easier on the combat. The combat's pretty. I mean, you need those frames. Like if it dips below 30 frames per second, you might as well just turn it off.
Yeah.
Lots of blocking, lots of spell blocking, and like high risk, high reward type stuff.
I think that. Listen, I think something that I feel like you would be really interested in, because I saw this the other day, and that was like somebody put like a compilation of all of the games that have been dropped this year that are contenders for Game of the Year.
Oh yeah,
And dude, like I forgot how many incredible games, and Hogwarts Legacy is one of them that I completely forgot. That I'm like, that's insane that this dropped this year. So you got things like Hogwarts Legacy, right? You got things like
we got Tears of the Kingdom.
You got Tears of the Kingdom. You got Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
You got
Baldur's Gate.
You got Baldur's Gate. I mean, like insane valued games. Like you got the Final Fantasy game, which I don't think it's going to be contender, but it's still like insanely good. So I think something that we would be pretty interesting. It's given us we come with our top five games of the year, like in order.
Look, I'm calling it right now. Spider-Man 2 is going to win solely based off the few things in it.
Oh, really?
That's what's
going to... Oh, you think that's going to... Really?
That will cause it to win.
It's yeah,
I do. I that's kind of at the point where I'm at with the Game Awards is...
if it has like... If it's good enough to stand on its own where people are actually going to vote for it, but also if it has that woke factor to it, it's more than likely going to, even if it is not better, it could still, still probably going to take it just because of the woke factor.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, I mean, but here's the thing. It seems like it's an incredible game regardless, so it's still going to be well-deserved of it, not just, not for the woke factor, obviously. But
yeah, no. I mean, if it wins, it is well-deserved. I mean, I was talking to your brother about it the other night, and we were talking about the few things. He said he hadn't finished listening to, but he was kind of getting my take on it. And while, when that stuff happens, I'm to the point where I don't want that force fed down my kid's throat. So it even made it to where I didn't want my kids to watch me play it, and it's just sad because it's Spider-Man, and that caused a problem for me. So that kind of made me raise an eyebrow. And so when it did get dropped a couple times in the game, it just, I don't know, man. It it kind of ruins the experience for me in those situations. But if looking at it from a just a story based, was it a good game? It was a great game. It was fantastic. The story was fantastic. And you can skip all of that. So if you choose not to do the side quests, you can skip. I think
that's not
90-ish% of it. I think.
I mean, that's not bad then.
No, it's not. It's not. But with Hogwarts Legacy, I hope it does well on Switch. I mean, it'd be a fun game to play like on the go, portable. I think it might look good on an OLED just because the OLED colors seem to pop a little bit better, and it's a very rich, colorful game when it comes to like the spells and things like that. And I mean, most of the game itself is kind of dark, but I mean, and it's not without its wokeness.
Oh yeah.
And the first time you meet the what was it, the Hogsmeade barmaid? Well, you'll find out.
You will see just in store or just in time.
It'll be like,
but
how are you doing, ma'am? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I have to say, man, not ma'am.
Yeah.
But
hey, you know what though?
Yeah.
When you get away from that and you jump into what the kids and I played tonight, this is why Nintendo is like still at the top of my list. And I love Nintendo IPs. I mean, and so that's what we did tonight. We of course, my oldest wanted to sit down, he wanted to play Fortnite, and I'm like, let's take a break from Fortnite tonight and let's play something as a family. And so we busted out Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has just, it's been a fun game. Nintendo has continued to show it love with new updates. Well, the latest and last DLC wave came out. I think it was a couple days ago. Maybe it was yesterday. But it introduced characters like Pauline, Peachette, Funky Kong, who I played tonight, which is awesome because when you hit the little bumps, if you jump just right, he kind of gets they kind of do like a speed boost. Yeah. So Funky's speed boost, when he jumps, they always have some kind of like animation. Well, he lays down on his surfboard and he smiles at you when he does it.
Oh, that's cool,
dude! It was awesome. And so I played Funky Kong. My oldest played Diddy Kong, and I can't get my youngest to get off PD Piranha. He loves him, and so we played that. But the cool thing is when they did some of these, they went back to some of the Super Nintendo tracks, like the OG original tracks, and to see them get made in a Mario Kart 8 look are amazing. I mean, I remember one of the one tracks that the borders were colored blocks. It was like red, green, blue, or something like that. I don't remember.
Yep.
They redid. Yeah, they redid that one that was like one of the first tracks you played. They redid that one in Mario Kart 8 graphics, and dude, it was so much fun. And so with this one, they went back to Bowser's Castle from the OG Super Nintendo, and man, that was difficult. That was a hard track when it's now that it's not so linear and straightforward. I mean, I fell in the lava like 4 or 5 times. But it was so fun.
You're not as good as you once were there, Maverick.
Oh no! I'm still the GOAT. I got it first. We played.
I'll fall in the lava. I still beat you.
That's right. We played all 8 of the new tracks, and man, it was so much fun. And I'm hoping that with the growth of our esports program, I'm hoping that we can pick up Mario Kart and or Splatoon next season because. And hey, shout out to those guys. Let's take a minute. Shout out to those guys. We got 2 of our 3 teams. We got one Smash Brothers team, and our Overwatch team are going to playoffs.
Yeah, and as of right now, the time that we're recording this, there is still a very real shot at our last team. So we have 3 teams in all. We have 2 Smash teams. We have 1 Overwatch team.
Yeah.
And we are our second Smash team is still very much so. Like as of right now, they would go if given the opportunity.
Oh yeah. They would be locked in right this moment.
If this was the last, but we have one more game in season, and so one of our teams are high enough to where they're good to go. Right, they're regardless of how next week's games go, they're locked in for the season.
Yeah,
right. Where the team before, or the other team is still at risk of potentially not making it if they don't perform well.
But the thing is
they're not
we have
sure.
Right, but the thing is the top, like, I would say anything below 20th, because they take the top 32 teams for Smash Brothers, and anything below the 20th place, we haven't really had a problem dealing with. I feel pretty confident, not to put them on the spot, not to make their nerves.
But I mean, they're going to feel they're going to feel pressure anyways, because it is a very important. Very important game that could potentially cause them to not,
it could
not go the way that they want.
Right, it could make them or break them for playoffs.
But I know, regardless, this is what, our second year. Well, so this is my second year.
This is our
with you guys. Technically, this is the third year.
Yep.
Yeah, technically this is the third year. The past 2 years, we missed out on playoffs. Last year was our first Overwatch year. We missed out on playoffs. They take the top 8. We were 9th in the state. Right. Now there's only about 30 teams in Overwatch, so it's not
there's 45. There's 46.
Well, like last year, there was only roughly around probably that much. I don't think there was. It's definitely increased. This year, but even still, it's still, so they're clearly taking a lot less than Smash is, because Smash is way more saturated with teams. I mean, there's a whole bunch more.
87
right? So
teams,
the skill level varies. There's teams that are extremely good, then there are teams that are just extremely below average, right? So but with Overwatch, for the vast majority of them, a lot of them pretty much stay consistent. I mean, we have played against some teams that you could definitely tell are new, but and right now we're what, 4th in this state?
Yes, last time I checked, we were 4th.
Which we've already played against the first and second teams. We only have 2 losses, and it's to those first and second teams. So,
so those are the teams we have to beat. I mean, we
actually beat the third ranked team and took that spot, but then we played against the first, got bumped back down. So there's a good chance that we're probably going to be finishing third in the state at the end of season this year, which is phenomenal. I mean, going to playoffs with all 3 of our guys, with all 3 of our teams, is just would be an incredible thing. Not only that, but winning them, which I mean, anything can happen in Smash, and by all means, I think we could win an Overwatch too. So
I mean,
I'm super proud of those guys.
I am too. So hats off to you guys. I mean, and gals, because
gals. Yeah, we actually got some clutch gal players.
Yeah.
On both teams.
The maestro herself.
The maestro. But
no, I am. I'm proud of them, and I just want them to know that win or lose, we're proud of them for making it, and for putting in a lot of hard work this year, because they really have. We've we ended kind of like 30, 40. Well, I mean, I guess it was like, in the 40-ish range the last couple seasons, and they've had some pretty stiff competition, but I think they're
But
listening. I
they
think
have
they're listening
improved.
more,
Yeah.
and they're improving. Yeah. And they,
And we're still fairly young with all of these teams, really. I mean, I think we have one senior out of on both teams. We have one senior
yeah,
on both teams, right?
we'll only lose
So
two kids this year
what?
to
Yeah,
graduation. Yeah.
to graduation. Yeah, which we're going to be sad about that, but at the end of the day, I mean that's incredible. You know what I mean? Like
Next year's going
we
to
still
hurt a
got
little bit.
yeah. I mean, but we'll bounce back.
Oh yeah. We got some
But
potentials coming up.
we do, and so I'm glad about it.
Me
I
too,
think
man.
we're we got some sick new logo.
Oh yeah.
Uh, we're gonna get some jerseys made.
We're gonna
Hopefully,
get some jerseys. I need to talk to you about that. I didn't get to talk to you about that.
oh, okay,
I think I
okay.
got
We'll
those.
keep that on the wraps.
Not.
Y'all forget I said anything.
Oh no, they know.
Hey, I but the MLB or not MLB. That's baseball. We ain't baseball on this.
No, it's
What it was
nighttime. We got.
MIB. The Men in Black. But look into my blinker right quick. You know, get the scramble in their brain.
That's funny. Oh man. So,
But
but this last bit
the
of news, man, I'm so excited for. Well, I say that I'm trying to hold my excitement.
mixed feelings. Mixed
I've got.
feelings.
Well, I don't know.
I get
So here's the thing. I don't have mixed feelings because of who is in charge of it.
yeah.
This gives me hope, and like what we saw with this new Netflix trailer drop for Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't know if you saw this, but when Netflix said that they were coming out with, and I don't know if it's a movie or if it's a series, but when they said that they were,
Listen, and this is a bold move considering how the movie went.
oh, the movie
Like
was
years
horrible,
ago.
horrible.
Bro, they didn't even get his name right.
Yeah,
Ong.
Ong. I'm like, I remember
But
seeing it in the theater, and I'm like sitting there, and they're like, Ong, and
I
I'm like,
believe
nope.
Ong can save the world.
Well, and that's,
Not Ong.
but that's, but that's what worries me. I mean, something like that kind of worries me. Now, with the success of the Mario movie, of course, that was all animated, and so we thought that when we heard rumors about, like a Legend of Zelda or a Metroid or something like that, we just assumed that it would be animated, like, that Illumination was going to animate it. But then Mr. Miyamoto himself has confirmed on Nintendo's Japanese Twitter account that a live-action film is and has been in the works for a while. So I read this. The upcoming Legend of Zelda live-action movie has been confirmed on the Japanese Nintendo's Japanese Twitter account. Avi Arad, known for his work in the film industry, has been involved in the project for many years. So, we haven't heard from, we haven't heard really a whole lot of Avi Arad in a long time because he had his hand a lot in the introduction to the Marvel Universe. And he was a staple for multiple 90s, like, good animated movies, animated TV shows. I think his name was all over the Fox's X-Men, from the 90s. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of that kind of stuff. I know he was involved in the Spider-Man of the 90s that was so good. And to see him, I mean, I thought he retired or like passed away or something. I mean, I had no idea. I hadn't heard his name in forever. But when I saw this, man, I was so excited because he knows how to make a good TV show. He knows how to make a good movie. He knows how to tell a good story. So I feel like with Avi Arad working on it, and then It said additionally the movie will be directed by the filmmaker behind the Maze Runner series, which is Wes Ball. And so I don't know, man.
I really for those who I enjoyed the Maze Runner series. I didn't
did
watch
too.
all of them. I watched the first two movies, that and the Scorch. What is it? Scorch Trials or whatever it's
Yes.
called.
Well, see, and
And
that was kind of
I really enjoyed both of them.
yeah. The second one I kind of fell off at the end. It just kind of like I don't know. It ended and it ended kind of I don't know. I guess not kind of how I was thinking.
Well,
I
it
did
was,
watch the
it
third
kind
one.
of came out around came out around the times where like the Hunger Games had been out for like a year or two, and then it also had like movies like Divergent, right, which I've never seen any
Hmm.
of the Divergent, Resurgent, or whatever series, but a lot of those movies were coming out based off the book adaptations, right? And with the intention behind these sequels or there being continual movies following them. So even like the Hunger Games sometime would end abruptly knowing that there's going to be another movie to pick up where they kind of left off.
Right. Right.
Same with like it's kind of very similar to like what they did with like Harry Potter, right, with the Deathly Hollows. You get one and then you see them kind of which that one I think they still ended fairly well with. I'm trying to think back up the ending for Deathly Hallows, but I remember it still felt like a fulfilled movie, even though I knew it was a part one.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. No, I
so
mean
that's the
but it had an ending. It
yeah.
truly ended, and that's where I kind of think that. Well, I'm hoping that that it. I don't know, man. I do. I have high hopes. I really do, and I'm hoping that they can pull off a live action movie. I mean, I would have been
I think it'd be
happy
cool.
with
I think it's good. They say
so
I
this got brought up the other night, or I guess it was in Discord or something. Do you think? Because I've seen a lot of renditions. Do you think? Are we
not
getting
often.
it? Are we getting? Okay, you caught me off guard with that one.
Do you?
Are you thinking? Are you thinking we're gonna get a? Are you thinking we're gonna get a Tom Holland link?
Um, Tom Holland. I'm trying to think of who would be a good link. So Tom Holland would be a really good link for a couple reasons. He is. I think first off, I think he's a good actor. I really enjoyed him as Spider Man, and there was been a couple other movies that I've enjoyed him in. Um,
I saw a CGI. I don't know if it was CGI or something. It was Photoshop type thing, but somebody photoshopped Link as Tom Holland, and it did really look good. I mean, and I think I believe he's
well,
going.
and Link's a little bit shorter, right?
Yeah, right.
Tom Holland's a little bit shorter.
Mm-hmm.
They are close to the same build, where Tom Holland has a little bit of muscle on him,
Mm-hmm.
or at least cut. Link obviously is not like the most jacked dude, and so he's also a little bit cut. You also got another huge aspect of him being able to do that, and that is he's Link is highly athletic, with all the things that he does, and then you got Tom Holland, which does a lot of his own stunts,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and say that's. I
and
think that would
is
help a lot.
highly athletic. So like there's a lot of like pluses to it. I mean, really, to be honest with you, it's one of those things where it's like it has to be like the spur of the moment. Like, let me see how you look in full makeup and full, in full Link attire. Let me see if Tom Holland's face is going to fit Link. You know what I mean? That's what it's going to come down to. Because if that's the case, then I think he could. Now, here's another thing. Here's a really weird thing about about these games is we're talking about a character that doesn't say anything. Like Link
Well,
doesn't talk.
I mean,
And I know you're gonna have to like you have some play here where like you're going to have to get him to talk. But on the flip side, I'm just like, it's so see that's what makes these like adaptations weird to me because I'm like, it's hard to envision this character doing anything else but just going, hey ah. Like I can't envision Link talking. I know he can because obviously you've heard his voice, like. But on the flip side, I'm like, how would he actually just sound in a normal conversation? You know what I mean?
well, and but we had the same thing with Mario. Mario really never. Well, I mean, I guess in the cartoons he did, but I mean,
I
he's
mean, well, Mario still had like still.
he did
I mean,
talk. He did like speak and say words,
yeah. I mean, he's
sentences.
still yeah. There's still like I mean, he still said literal words.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where like you could kind of even with that a limited amount of wordplay that he used, you could still take that and run with it. Where like Link, I'm really, really thinking here that I don't think that I've heard any like sound bites from him where he actually says stuff.
No, well, I mean, it's
You know what I
just,
mean?
I mean, so there
That's
was.
just something that's a pet peeve of mine. You're just gonna, I'm just gonna have to get over that. Which is probably not gonna take me very long to get over that. Like after I see Tom Holland go, or if it's Tom Holland, right?
Right, right.
Like I
Whoever
said,
plays.
I don't know who would do it. Yeah,
Well, and
who's gonna do it?
and that's the thing. So I saw something earlier. Of course, here we go. We're not roasting IGN tonight, but they did post something. Maybe
Chill vibes from the well tonight.
yeah, maybe I think it's I've never seen this show. I don't know what it is. Euphoria. It doesn't sound like something I'd probably watch. But one of the stars from that, Hunter Schafer, says something about playing Zelda would be cool. So I mean, I don't know if you know how they like to drop things here and there. I wonder if that's uh,
Yeah, I don't know
who
who this.
knows. I mean, they've been dropping a
What
lot
did
of
you say?
stuff like movie news and stuff like Venom 3 is supposed to
What
have.
is her?
Um, hold on, let me get back
What
to it.
is her name? Hunter
Hunter,
Schafer.
yeah, Schafer. The
Boy, the first listen, go to Google, see the first. We might, hey, you might need to take those words and put them back in your mouth, okay? About roasting,
oh,
dude. This
are
first
we fixing
picture
to
is
roast
not the
somebody?
most flattering, dude. It's not. I'm sitting up.
Uh oh,
Uh oh. Uh
we've
oh.
done it. Hey, look at that.
Dude, what is this picture? What is this picture? This first picture of her is like,
You need to look in the admin chat.
dude, what is this first picture of her? I know I recognize this. Okay. There's several like pictures that. One thing you know what, I can see this. I can see this just because she's 5'10", you know, and Zelda is kind of a taller lady,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Well, I mean, when she's standing up against Link, I mean, it's not. She doesn't have
True,
to be
true.
tall. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks. She needs to be taller. But yeah, if she's here, let me use it. Tom Holland. Tom, how tall is Tom?
Well, he's a.
Yeah, dude, this is perfect. He's 5'7" and heels.
Oh, there.
Oh no, just 5'7". Just
I was gonna say, wait a minute. Is that? I thought that was Robert Downey Jr.
he's 5'7" with elf shoes on. Yeah,
Did you
let's
know?
go.
Did you know that? Did you know that in all
Well,
of
but
the scenes with Robert Downey
he's
Jr. when he's
20.
standing
Well,
up against other people, that he was wearing like platform shoes?
Tom Holland
No,
or
no, no.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Like anytime he was like
I
standing
mean,
next to Thor or something like because Chris Hemsworth is
I
pretty big guy, and so Robert
yeah,
Downey Jr. was
I didn't
wearing
know
like
that.
platform shoes because Hemsworth was so much taller than him.
That's a little ego. That's a
Yeah.
little ego
Well, I mean,
there.
nobody wants a really
But
like a shorter, like a dwarf Iron
but
Man.
I mean, thematically speaking, that definitely fits Tony though to a T.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, I don't know.
But
We'll see. We'll get some more news. I'm
I'm
sure.
excited about it.
They started announcing stuff with the Mario movie, and then it came like they came with a trailer, and then they came with little bits here and there. What I do want to see is I want to see a trailer. I want to see. I would love to get a release date. That's not going to happen anytime soon. But I would like to see a trailer that teases the movie but doesn't show too much. I mean, let's see Ganon. Let's see Link and Zelda. Let's see the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Let's see the Triforce or something like that. But let's not give away too much. I don't want them to do like they did with Mario, where I felt like when I went to the Mario movie in the theater, we had seen
All of the big spoilers. Yeah,
75%
you
of it.
knew Donkey Kong was in there. You knew, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even still, there was just so many things to unpack with the Mario movie that it still was able to work out well in the end. But
right. So,
I get what you mean. Yeah, you don't want it to have to be that Easter egg hit,
right.
heavy for it to satisfy the fact that it has some or to be able to,
right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, look.
Yeah. To be able to make it a good movie. But
I'm
excited about it. I think it's going to be great, regardless, just because, it's Zelda, and I think it's always going to be an entertaining story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a big franchise that you are going to get your heavy hitting actors, your big actors that, are popular right now and people enjoy. And, now I don't know how this Hunter girl, or I guess woman, because she's 24. I don't know how what's her, like how she acts. I mean, clearly she's been in a few things, but
I don't just know who she is.
I hope that, like if she is Zelda, if she's not.
Well, I feel like with Miyamoto in like taking charge of this, I really do think it, and that was one of the things that did you say you did or did not watch Detective Pikachu?
I did not watch Detective.
Okay. And I will say again, the humans make it not a great. I mean, okay, so the humans take away from what could have been, but the Pokemon Company was so involved in the movie that they actually took and made them redo some of the Pokemon because they didn't like the way, like, so Lickitung, they didn't they had to redo him like multiple times because they were not happy. And so I feel like Miyamoto will do the same thing. If he's not happy, this movie will never come out. And but I think with AVA Rad working with Miyamoto, I think it's going to be great. I think the story's going to be great. I think everything's just going to be hashed out, fleshed out, and it's going to be a good deal. But,
absolutely.
On the same note as Legend of Zelda, our poll from last week, we went with best video game sword, and so the options were the the Master Sword, the Buster Sword, Excalibur. I don't know how to pronounce Sephiroth Sword, Masamune. I even went with the Energy Sword from Halo. The Keyblade, because we roasted the Keyblade last week, and I went Frostmourne from Warcraft. The Lich King sword. I myself got on and voted for Frostmourne, and so I'm assuming that your brother probably followed suit and chose Frostmourne also.
Yes, 100%.
And so.
Yeah, Frostmourne.
And so Frostmourne wins for the poll for the week. That was it. Look, guys, I encourage you to look at the polls. We really are like thinking about this, and I think for this week, because that was where I was going to go with that, is this week's has got to be game of the year. Let's do it. Let's roll. Well, wait. Do we want to do the poll, the nominated poll for what we think is going to win game of the year, or be in the running for game of the year, or do we want to wait? Do we want to wait till next week till it's announced? Because I think it's going to be announced next week.
Game of the year?
Well, not game of the year, but who's in the running for game of the year? The nominees. That's the word I was thinking of. Nominees.
Let's wait until we actually get the nominees for the game of the year, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, yeah. Well, guys, post in the comments or something about, or hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you think about the Legend of Zelda movie, and if you play Mario Kart, are you playing it by yourself? You playing it with friends, family? Are you enjoying the DLC? Because Mario Kart 8 is done. I mean, no more DLC, no more characters, no more. We may get Mario Kart 10. Because I think there's somebody said 9 was like supposed to be tour. So
they just jumping around.
Yeah, we may get 10 since Mario Kart Tour is probably 9. Hey, that's a perfect Switch 2 release game. Mario Kart. Obviously, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold way more than they ever thought. So, but or message us about GTA 6, and we'll choose not to message you back. No,
we'll choose. And we will actively ignore you.
We will pray for you.
We will see your comment, and we will say, "Have a good day, good sir."
We will pray for salvation.
Pray. So, I just got through thinking that I failed to finish that because we went down the kind of that rabbit hole of the whole charity thing. What I was mentioning earlier about my father.
Oh yeah.
To just kind of finish this thought, something that you might, really enjoy. Is so I was saying that he's very big into like Diablo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's looking for a change of pace. And so now
I thought you were about to tell me that he wanted to find a squad for Diablo 4.
No, he actually is highly considering downloading WoW and playing WoW Classic.
Oh,
because he's never played WoW before.
Your brother and I been
really
talking about that.
He really wants to play WoW and get into WoW Classic. And I was like, look, dude. I was like, I got 2 guys. One of them is, in fact, your son. That I was like, are big WoW fans. I was like, play. I'm like, I myself have played a little bit. I'm not like super experienced in it, but I have played a little bit. I was like, and another buddy of mine have played. And so I personally would think it would be cool to go through WoW Classic and play if we could get a squad. Now, we've done this before in the past, recently in the past where we did this. And the same issue that I'm having now is happened then, and that is just time constraints.
You
never have the time to get on. And so when you play a game like WoW, you got to invest a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of, and it kind of, you sacrifice every other game, so that you can achieve greatness in that game. So,
and that's
I was the thing, and it's not a guaranteed thing, but I like the simplicity of classic, or at least the concept of playing WoW Classic, because it's not, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's going to be where it's not like just overwhelming to the player, because it's not nearly the content that's out right now.
Well, okay,
correct.
I will say yes. In content, in when you look at it, content based, there is not so much. Now, when you run through the content, so okay, you download WoW. You boot it up, you play. The thing about WoW right now is I am 2 expansions behind. Two, three. I'm 2 expansions behind, I believe, and there are new starting zones. So like where you would normally start, you can choose to start in a part of the story that you are still low level, and it does, and you end up back where you normally would, and you advance. I will say they are they are giving you, they're basically feeding you right now. So like, I mean, I logged in not too long ago and just to kind of check out some of the updates and stuff, and they pretty much have a arrow in your UI that points to the direction you need to go. I mean, you don't even have to read the quests anymore. Now, WoW Classic goes back to that old, you've got to read the quest. You have to kind of know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, you might end up somewhere where you don't want to be. And my first experience with WoW, my wife and I bought the battle chest, which, you know, Blizzard used to do battle chests where you could get like the base game and then you could get like the expansions or something like that. StarCraft was a big one. They had the StarCraft game and then you got the expansions with it. And so we got a battle chest, and it came with WoW. It came with a month for free, and it came with the Burning Crusade DLC or expansion, I guess. And the only thing we were missing was the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, which had dropped. It had dropped before we bought the battle chest, and that's why we caught the battle chest pretty cheap. It's like $25-$30, and so we played through. We played through the story. You know, I mean, you can pick it up now, start in the starting zone, and play through the story, and it's for the most part there was a change. So in Classic, the world is not as the world is now. Because when Cataclysm happens, that expansion, Deathwing rises, and he literally flies over Azeroth and breaks so much. You have like marshlands that are flooded, and you have the big, huge rip through areas, you know, where I mean, you fall in and die, and that allowed you to split some of the areas, so your starting paths took you different places. So I know, like with the Taurens, for example, I mean, you would do their stuff when you got out of their area. You were high enough level to move to the next. Well, the way the world split, you couldn't do that anymore, so you had to take like a separate route, and it was different. So going back to WoW Classic, I think it would be a good start. It is fun, and they do now have WoW Classic. They also have Burning Crusade Classic, and they just released Wrath of the Lich King Classic. So you can actually go back and play those, you know, from their beginnings.
Well, I would, I like if I would ever do that, like that's the way that I would want to play, is like individually, like at a time, because, and I think one of the things that kind of got me off of the last time we played is we jumped straight into, I don't know what exactly it was, but we jumped straight into like the troll kingdom, like I don't know exactly what it was, but we played pretty much just exclusively in this area where like the trolls were. So it was almost like this Aztec like world.
Oh, so you played as
Aztec
a troll.
land. Mm-hmm. No. Like I know I wasn't a troll. No, like but our squad was there, and was like our starting spot. Was playing through this, or like there was like we spawned on a beach side. We went through like the tutorial thing that's kind of like the generic tutorial for everybody,
right?
I guess. And then you go to like the main, and we were playing Horde, so we went to like our main camp, I guess where like the horde meets up for the first time, where everybody is at, right? Like
Okay,
the general
were there
meeting
like
hub.
ships and stuff? Like so, like you chose your characters and you all ended up on the same beach.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, that's newer. I actually don't
Yeah,
like
because I
that. It
remember
does allow you to
I don't
start.
I don't even I like the starting spots with like so like if you're going to start as a blood elf, you start at the blood elf starting spot,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know, and
which
you
is
play through that. Like
atrocious.
I've
I hate
played.
that area.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'm not. I just, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of
You
the.
go back and you go back and forth. There's a lot of like you know running back and forth to a bunch of different areas,
Yeah,
but
the first thing I'm doing is I'm as soon as I get to the city, as soon as I get to Silver Moon, I'm jumping to the Undercity, and I'm moving on that way. I don't try to go and do all the quests in the Blood Elf starting areas just because I tend to like the Undercity and that area better, anyways.
yeah. Well, but I mean, just kind of I don't know much about well, like I mean I know the Undercity and things like that, but I haven't really got super far into it
If we're
because
playing
once
Horde,
again time.
I'll help you out. I'll be a Blood Elf pally and
But
I'll tank for us.
well, I mean, well, and so he's been talking about wanting to play like some sort of caster. So he wants to play, you know, some sort of like wizard or really he kept saying warlock a bunch,
Oh,
and
that's
so
cool. Yeah.
that's good. Like wants to be a warlock, which that was my first thing was blood elf warlock. So you know, but that's also because my brother was a blood elf pally. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I want to be like you, and I was playing. I was like 8, 9 years old when I first started, and then I was like, you know what, I want to be a Tauren shaman. I love the shaman class. By the way,
I haven't worked
I love
shaman.
the idea. Yeah, see, I would want to be an orc shaman now
Mm-hmm. Oh
because
yeah.
I mean, just because I love Thrall, I like in Hearthstone. That was my favorite character class play. Now it's drifted. Now it ironically is Warlock. I love to play in Hearthstone Warlock. Man, super duper fun. But anyways, I know we've been a little long today. We got our news out, a lot of awesome things, anywhere from movies to drops that have been decades long wait.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that is coming. We've had a fantastic year as gamers with with all types of games coming out
Yeah.
that really kind of satisfies an itch for just about anybody,
It was a
any type of gamer.
it was a horrible year to have a New Year's resolution where I could only buy 5 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and here's the thing: it started off slow, where it was going to be like, okay, it might not be that great of a year for games, right? Because we're coming off of the back end of like the dropping of the new consoles, and so the console games there were like slow, and then of course the Switch. It has such a long lifespan now that you're like, okay, you're not expecting anything big there, and boom, everything just blows up. So,
Well, and that's what this.
it's been fantastic.
Well, this probably
So,
speaks horrible to me, but maybe it was a horrible New Year's resolution, and I'm just all I can say is I'm glad I never stick to them.
there's the lesson to be learned. Don't stick to your resolutions.
That's just or just don't make them when it comes to video games. I mean, that's just a stupid idea, anyways.
Why bind yourself to things you don't need to be bound to?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd rather give up Cokes or no, I ain't giving up coffee.
Yeah, no,
I think we had
I
this
needed that.
discussion.
But anyways, guys, we really appreciate you guys listening and all of the many different aspects of our podcast tonight. We hope that you guys had a awesome time listening. If there's any questions that you have, any comments, concerns, prayers, you name it, we've already told you to hit us in the hit us in our comment sections somewhere.
Not in the
We
face.
have on Yeah, preferably not in the face. Yeah. I mean, I would like to say that's my moneymaker, but not really.
No,
But
no.
hey, you know. But anyways, we
But hey,
appreciate you guys
yeah,
being here.
absolutely. And like we always, we always tell you, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all the places, and
Hold the place.
and just give us a like, give us a comment, please share us. We enjoy doing this, and we do have a lot of fun, and
Yep.
we're
Tell a
trying to
friend
get,
about us.
yeah,
Word,
or
word of
tell
mouth.
10,
Yeah,
tell 10,
that would be awesome.
yeah.
But
If
all
you have
right,
10
well let's.
friends,
Yeah. Oof. Oof. But we'll go ahead and we'll dismiss the podcast in a word of prayer. Father God, thank you so much for today. We thank you for this time that we've had to be able to have this podcast, Lord. We ask that you just bless it in a mighty way. Lord, be able to help those that are listening for whatever the reason is, whether it is gaming news, maybe it's them seeking theological truths, maybe some ideas, maybe they just enjoy listening to us, whatever the reason may be. Lord, we ask that you just bless each and every person here for listening. Lord, help us to continue to be able to do this. We ask for growth if it be your will. God, we love you and we thank you, and we ask for prayers over all those listening today. Whatever their needs are, we ask that your will be done in their life. God, and all we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
amen.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.
Peace out.